Howdy folks, Creepy Kentuckian here with you from DEADPIT Radio. Happy early Friday the 13th. It's coming to us tomorrow, boss. So excited. I just can't hide it. And don't forget, we are doing a character ranking tier list. All the characters minus Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th. We're going to rank them. So it's going to be fun. But today, we are taking a look at this brand new 4K limited edition from our good friends over at Arrow Video of what, until September of 2024, is the last Friday the 13th film of all time. The Platinum Dunes. It's kind of a remake from 2009. Michael Bay, Marcus Nispel joined forces yet again. As you guys know, they made the highly successful, but in my opinion, extremely shitty Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, which was a gigantic success. So they're like, hey, let's get Michael and Marcus back together and we'll have them do another Jason movie. And that's exactly what they did. The movie made a ton of money, as Friday the 13th usually does. And overall was kind of a mixed reaction when it came out, I think. Now, personally myself, I think Friday the 13th 09 is the best Platinum Dunes horror movie for sure. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. We're going to talk about the movie a little bit. We've reviewed it before. It's an interesting choice because there is only the original Friday the 13th on 4K from 1980. And this is number 2. I think actually Friday the 13th Part 2 is coming out later this fall. But interesting choice and deluxe treatment for Friday the 13th remake from 09. So we're going to take a look at the movie, dig into some of these new special features, tell you guys what all is in there because there is a lot. Arrow never fails to disappoint when it comes to this sort of thing. And I want to answer the question for you guys. Should you add the disc to your collection this Friday the 13th? The Friday the 13th remake, reimagining, whatever you want to call it, opens in 1980 with, of course, the end of the original story. It's not, they're not replaying the original movie. They redid it, of course, with the decapitation of Mrs. Voorhees. Young Jason, of course, witnesses his mother's mutilation, takes the head and wanders off into the woods. I don't know what Jason's going to do with the head. I don't even want to think about that. But anyway, fast forwarding to present day. There's a new group of dumb teenagers looking for a hidden stash of marijuana that's deep in the woods near Camp Crystal Lake. It's like a 24-minute pre-title sequence that just features some innovative kills, some boobs, you know, everything that you really want from a Friday the 13th movie. And we continue on a few weeks later. There is a bunch of new young adults, teens or whatever, and one of the girls from the first batch of kids that got kind of taken out, her brother Clay, played by Jared Padalecki from Carry On My Wayward Son, Supernatural, which I never got into that show. I never did really see the appeal. I think that was like a 15 to 19-year-old female demographic, if you will. Anyway, young Clay is looking for his sister. Now, it's interesting because we've got like, you know, kind of a remake of the first movie, a little bit of part 2, and then we're continuing on to part 4, which features the story, you know, the same sort of story. And, you know, sister missing, new group of teens for Jason to slay. You know, a bunch of generic horrors in this, really, as far as the cast go. I think Willa Ford is in this, who had a brief acting career. She shows the goods, which is always good. Danielle Panabaker, who did a handful of, like, horror movies, low-budget movies. I don't think she's got an acting career anymore. One thing that I never did figure out with this movie, too, you know, and Jason continues on, blah, 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 slash, dies, kill. You know, it's a Friday the 13th movie. It's not very plot driven, but the interesting story about this is Clay's sister, Vanilla Whore number 4, is not killed by Jason initially. She is trapped in Jason's underground lair. That was like a big thing around this time period. And I think they tried to explain that Jason kept her around because she had found the locket that had his mother's picture on it as a young girl or whatever, and she reminded him of Mrs. Voorhees. So there's the part 2 reference. So yeah, I mean, there it is, boys. There it is. So Friday the 13th, 2009. I think it's a very serviceable Friday the 13th movie. Is it good? Not really. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. I had fun with it. It's what Friday the 13th should be. And an interesting little side note on this Friday the 13th movie was the very first actual Friday the 13th film since 1989's Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And it's weird to think that there have only been one Friday the 13th film since 1989. But anyway, the movie's okay. It's leaps and bounds better than that Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake that Marcus Nispel did. But unlike Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the formula of a Friday the 13th film is very, very, very hard to fuck up. And he didn't. I mean, I thought that this one was okay. Derek Mears did a great job as Jason Voorhees. It's a damn shame that this was it. He didn't get to do any more because I think that he was made. The dude's made. He's already a bald guy, big, muscular dude. He was destined to be Jason. So now we're going to talk about some of the special features included on this. Now, this is a 2-disc edition. You have 2 different cuts of the movie. Both cuts of the movie are in 4K. You have the theatrical cut and you have the unrated/killer cut. Disc 1 features all of the new special features. There's brand new audio commentary with the director Marcus Nispel, brand new audio commentary by writers Mark Swift and Damian Shannon, a brand new interview with the director Nispel, brand new interview with writers Swift and Shannon. There's a brand new interview with the cinematographer Daniel Pearl, a killer new beginning exclusive video essay about why horror fans shouldn't fear remakes, what 2009's Friday the 13th remake gets right, and why the film serves as a perfect template for future franchise remakes. And this was done by film critic Matt Donato, who I can't agree with. I think you should fear remakes. There's excerpts from Terror Trivia Track, The Rebirth of Jason Voorhees, an archival featurette, Hacking Back, Slashing Forward, another archival featurette, 7 Best Kills, archival featurette, deleted scenes, original teaser trailer and TV spots, the EPK image gallery. On the killer cut, there is a separate audio commentary track, brand new, by film critics Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson. And also, the packaging on this particular edition is pretty killer, to say the least. So guys, this Friday the 13th, 2009 limited edition, special edition from Arrow Video is one. Yeah, there's been plenty of Friday the 13th editions that have came out. There's been plenty that you can add to your shelf. But this is probably one step beyond what any of these other studios have done. The deluxe treatment for the 09 Friday the 13th, pretty badass, pretty brutal. You'll want to check it out. It is out now from Arrow Video. Check it out. Be sure to check us out. We're over at DEADPIT.com.
I'd like to tell people, thumbs up the video, Uncle Bill.
Would you?
Yes. Thumbs it up with violence and fury, and just love everything about it.
You hit the heart button, then you hit the ass button, then you hit the go fuck yourself button. Follow that up with the I don't give a shit button.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. DeadPitRadio.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last House on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. Do you know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
We have a literal jukebox full of songs and thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram and help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So deadpitonpatreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.
You can do 50. The stock market's crashing around us, folks, but send us money.